Well, how do you do, buckaroos, and how the heck are you? So I have one I've had before, but it's been about 5 years since I had it, and my initial reaction to this about 5 years ago when I had it was, wow. Second Shift was relatively new. They were just doing some fantastic stuff up in St. Louis. Oh gosh, we got to know St. Louis pretty well back in 2012. My son Seamus was diagnosed with leukemia February of 2012. So they do what turned out to be what they call the induction, which was 28 days. He went into remission. We went home, and you go back up for various maintenance days. Goodness. I'm going to start crying. But anyways, bottom line was we had to be up there so much. We got to know St. Louis pretty well. And at that time, there were a lot of breweries opening in St. Louis. Second Shift being one of them. Urban Chestnut, Four Hands, Perennial opened up about that time. 9.3%. They don't mention the IBUs. Brewcocky is another IPA. They do a lot of different IPAs at Second Shift. They really do. That is brewed with loads and loads of Falconer's Flight. We use an inappropriate, gratuitous manner and make them just explode. They describe the color as a golden amber. Yeah, I'm going to describe it more as a copper, but whatever. That head stays, man. That's the interesting part about that. It's kind of a, I don't know, I guess I was going to say eggshell, but slightly darker than eggshell. The aroma's gorgeous. So in today's world of see, that's the thing about craft beer. It moves fast, right? So I loved this beer 5 years ago. But IPA styles have changed a lot in 5 years. So here I am, trying this again after 5 years. That aroma is fantastic. I gotta tell you that. God almighty. Yeah. All right, so wow, that's tasty. You know what? I love this beer, but the honest truth is that IPA tastes have changed so much, and a lot of craft beer is about trends. This is not a trendy IPA. This is not a mild IPA. This is not a tastes like a glass of fruit juice IPA. No, this is a big, bold, in-your-face IPA, like IPAs were meant to be. Not like these candy-ass Orange Julius or grapefruit tasting IPAs these days. That's just my particular opinion. I mean, I think if you've got the taste buds for it, you're going to love this. But I mean, if you've cut your teeth on IPAs with New England style IPAs, you're not going to like this at all, because you know what? It tastes like a fucking IPA. That's why. It's big, it's bold, it's brash, it's in your face. You're not going to dig it because you think IPAs ought to taste like fruit juice. You panty-waist little bastard. Anyways. But I digress. Anyways, 9.3%. Yeah, it's big. It's nice. I got to tell you, I love Falconer's Flight. It's underused hop these days because everybody wants everything to taste like, fruit. Hey, look, I don't necessarily mind those IPAs. Don't get me wrong. I think they're fine. I think they're refreshing. I think they're great for the summer. Do I think they're the most dimensional of all IPAs? No. No, I don't. You can't tell me on one hand it's wonderful, it tastes just like an Orange Julius, and then on the second hand tell me it's very dimensional. No, you can't have it both ways, my friends. You can't. This is beautiful. It tastes just like a glass of grapefruit juice, but it's very dimensional. It's one of the most complex IPAs you'll ever have. No. If it tastes just like grapefruit juice, it is not one of the most complex IPAs I've ever had. Don't be a Nimrod. Anyways, anyway. People get irritated when I add the S anyways. I had a friend that used to do that back in, a friend I grew up with. I don't want to mention her name now, but she always said it anyway, so kind of do that as kind of an homage to her. Oh, Gosh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so yeah, a lot of big malt. It's very malt forward early on. Gonna get a hint of sweetness. I almost get brown sugar-like notes early on. On the nose, I almost get these orange zest-like notes as well. Again, it's just a big, bold, brash IPA like an IPA was meant to be. And there was a time when IPAs were big. They were meant to be in your face. They were meant to wreck your palate. And now you've got these IPAs that taste just like fruit juice, you know? It's like at one time IPAs were sumo wrestlers and now they're ballerinas. Oh, look, it tastes just like fruit juice. But no, it's very complex, Tom. No, it's not. And you're an ass for saying so. It shows me you don't know dick about beer if you're telling me your beer that tastes just like grapefruit juice is complex. Anyways, I digress. I apologize. The second shift, I tend to go off the rails. Yeah, it's what I do, man. But it doesn't change the fact that this is a damn fine beer. So I had some issues with purchasing it, though, to be honest with you, because it was $15.99. I'm thinking, man, $16 for 4 beers is kind of pricey. But then again, it is for 16-ounce beers, not 12-ounce beers. And I was looking at other beers in the same store, and then I found other IPAs in 22-ounce bottles that ranged from $7 to $10. So I'm thinking, okay, so here I have 64 ounces for $16. Trying to compare apples to apples. Other beers of the same style, of a similar ABV, range from 7 to 10. So even if I take that at the low end, at $7 for 22 ounces, so times 3 to get to 66 ounces, 2 ounces more, would be $21. So I'm still paying less for this. So sometimes it's all about perspective. I have to do that to myself to get myself to understand how things work. So there you go. But the bottom line for me, I do love this beer as much today as I did 5 years ago. I don't know that younger drinkers would love it as much, and I don't know that poser drinkers will love it as much, because there's a lot of craft beer drinkers that are all about what the current trend is. They would have loved this beer before that trend started, but now they're afraid to say they love it, even if they actually did, because they want to be involved in that trend. You guys know the beer drinkers I'm talking about. I call them poser drinkers. I grew up in the 80s, man. In Southern California, when all the hair band things started, there were guys that were legitimate that could actually play, then you had the posers. Anyway, that's what we referred to them as. I refer to the beer drinkers the same way now. They're the posers. They're the guys that are wearing the black leather pants and the shirt, but they have no idea about the music. I am Ton of Beer Whisperer, and if I haven't pissed you off, watch the next video. I'll give it another shot. Second shift, Brewcocky. It's a damn fine beer, guys. I love the hell out of it. Wow. I'm the beer whisperer. Did I say that right? Damn, 9.3%. That's one of those beers that make you giggly right away. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. BeerVangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I'm not going to slam this like I do with some beers. All right, good guy. Damn, that's good. I tell you what.